Off, I took a large piece of this white-ish cream-colored fabric and folded it in half, and then cut along this edge right here. And basically, it is supposed to be at 36.5 on this side by 19 inches on this side. And now I'm gonna go ahead and hem the bottom edge. I cut out a long rectangular strip of fabric, and that is about the size of my waist with seam allowance, and I'm basically going to fold it in half with the good sides facing out and sew a straight line across the bottom. Now I cut out 2 other long strips of fabric, and I am going to fold them in half, good sides on the inside, and then go ahead and sew along that line, and then I'll inside out it and it will make like a tube. I also have a little triangle at the end for extra detail, but you don't have to add that. Now you're going to want to go ahead and take the tie you just made and sew it onto the waistband, and make sure to do both sides just like this. You're going to go ahead and take your waistband and set it aside, and then go ahead and take the bottom of the skirt and use the top edge that you haven't hemmed and make a straight stitch by hand stitching it, and then pull it tight. You can do this before you do scrunch up the top, but basically before you sew it on to the waistband, make sure to hem both sides of it because they are going to be shown. They're not going to meet together. So yeah. Okay, now you're going to go ahead and take and sew the waistband to the skirt where the good sides are together, and then make sure it's in the middle because you will, if you did it like mine, have a little extra on both sides. So make sure it's in the middle and it is scrunched the way you would have it. Okay, so now after we got the waistband sewed onto the skirt, you're going to go ahead and hem this little edge where it kind of meets to the ties, just so that there's not a weird raw edge and it's not longer, because I made this longer than this so that I would have extra room. But now you're going to go ahead and hem it on both edges. Now I cut out 2 square pieces that fit on my chest, just kind of how I would like them to fit, and adding seam allowance, of course. And now I'm going to put them good side to good side and go ahead and sew like 3 of the sides and leaving 1 open. Okay, I went ahead and snipped off the corners and the excess fabric around the edges, and now I'm going to flip it inside out and then sew it on to the skirt. Now that I got it inside outed, I thought I would show you kind of where I'm going to sew it on. Basically where the waistband and the skirt are sewn together, I'm going to sew it on this edge. If you don't do this, you can always do good side to good side and do it that way, but for this, I think it would look much cleaner, like there's a different line, and I think it would be layered better. So I would try to do this, but if you don't have this extra fabric here, then do it however you would like it to look.